Hi, I'm Richard Margolin, CEO and co-founder of RoboKind, and here are 5 things you need to create a highly successful career in the robotics industry. Number 1, you have to be really good at problem solving and being okay with failure. You have to try things. You've got to build new things, prototype quickly, and not all of them are going to work. You also have to really realize you should only focus on creating the things you absolutely have to. If you can buy something off the shelf, do it, especially when you're early in a design process. For our first gen robots at RoboKind, we only built the things we needed to. We only designed a few servos that needed to fit in really precarious spaces and have really specific specifications. Everything else we bought off the shelf and built brackets and frames and shells and all that other stuff to really kind of make the robot what it became. But at the end of the day, we were creating a character. We weren't designing servos. So we were able to save a lot of money, move a lot faster by not getting caught up and feeling like every single element of these robots needed to be created by us. Number 2, have a strong understanding of all the different fields of engineering, software, and the different types of manufacturing you'll be using. While you may be an engineer and there are other engineers on your team, it doesn't mean you all speak the same language. Mechanical and electrical are completely different areas of focus. And when you get into manufacturing, the people who you'll be working with, your machinists, your injection molders, your lathe people, all of those people will like you a lot better if you understand the rules and you understand what designing for their processes really mean. You'll end up with a lot more friends and you'll end up with better product. So, in designing my first mass production robot, we had a lot of issues early on. And we realized really late in the beginning of production that we had a cable that was going to break really quickly if we didn't move our camera. The camera started in the eyes, which made sense, and we had designed a cable that just couldn't handle all the movement it was going to take. And so, as a last minute thing, we had to move the camera, work with our software teams to update a lot of things that they were doing. And all because really we weren't communicating well enough and we weren't testing early and often. So make sure that everyone's coordinating and communicating, and you'll end up a lot happier. Number 3, everything you design is going to be manufactured, assembled, and used in the real world, not just on your lab bench. So while I believe in fast prototyping to prove out different ideas in the mechanical, electronics, and software realm, I think it's really important to make sure that when you're moving into your final design, that you're really designing your parts for manufacturing and with the different processes in mind. I was working with a group to create a sock puppet robot that was going to read stories for children at an event. And so the first design that one of my partners came up with had a lot of complex linkages, 4-bar mechanisms. It was made of all kinds of materials, servos, and all these things that would have been really difficult to actually function and build at all. We had basically no budget. It was an entirely volunteer project. And the original design included more than 40 custom parts that needed to be 3D printed, machined, and welded to build this robot. I really looked at what we were trying to achieve and honestly how long it needed to last. And I rebuilt it and redesigned it with 6 pieces of bent sheet metal as brackets and a few springs to counteract some of the excessive weight on some of the servos towards the bottom. The robot was literally just going to be covered with a felt snake puppet, and no one was ever going to see the inside of the robot, and it didn't even have to last that long. So all we really needed was a few robots stacked to basically make a snake movement and something to puppet the mouth. And that's all we ended up building. And when you really think about how your design is going to be used, how long it's going to need to last, and all of that, it really changes the way you think about your design and approach. If you're too rigid in the way you're thinking, you'll get locked in and you'll just do the same thing over and over again and you'll stop learning. Number 4, always be learning. Stay current and seek mentors in a variety of fields. It will open up more opportunities in your career. When I was 21, I was lucky enough to become the engineering director for a robotics company. When I wasn't designing and building robots, I took the time to learn about materials design, manufacturing processes, business needs, and the things that drive sales and marketing. This enabled me to be a lot more holistic in my thinking, And I had the amazing opportunity to work with everyone from former movie special effects people who taught me how to prototype quickly and think about how something needs to be used. I found business leaders in robotics and education who were willing to teach me about sales cycles, 3D animation, and curriculum design, and so much more. And you'd really be surprised how generous people are. Some of the most important mentors and relationships I have started as cold outreach on LinkedIn or introductions that had no agenda. Number 5, robotics isn't one thing. Find your specialty. Not every robot is created equally. In my case, I've been lucky enough to create humanoid robots that help autistic individuals. But I've also worked with medical robots, manufacturing robots, life-size humanoids, and biomimetic animal robots. There are so many subfields and specializations that you can make a career out of in the robotics industry, such as designing and developing control systems, sensors, actuators, and even AI systems to sense and interact with the world around you. These are all part of robotics, and the list is really endless and limitless at this point. There's so much you can do with robotics focus. So, good luck in your future careers. Making things that people use is fun, it's rewarding, but it comes with a lot of responsibility to make sure that the products you make are good and are making the world a better place. I look forward to seeing your creations hit the marketplace. Thanks for watching. Visit us at robokind.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And subscribe to us on YouTube and smash that like button.